Energetic children can be very fidgety, and fidgeting usually diminishes as the person reaches adulthood. A certain degree of fidgeting can be normal and even beneficial. But if you find yourself getting distracted, you may be wondering how to get it under control. There are some ways to help manage your fidgeting habit. They are to determine the causes of your fidgeting, reduce your caffeine and sugar intake, increase how much you exercise, and practice relaxation techniques. So, we are going to watch about the how to manage your fidgeting. Method 1. Determining the causes of your fidgeting. First is recognize when and where you fidget. Is it at work? Is it in the morning or in the afternoon? What social situations does it affect? What parts of your body are the most hyperactive? Understanding how you fidget and how it affects your life is the first step to making a change. Try keeping a log of places and times you tend to fidget in a notebook. This may help you to correlate your fidgeting with various diet habits, such as consuming caffeine or sugar, or determine if it is something else. Fidgeting is normal. Some people fidget more than others. Although it can be a sign of hyperactivity, anxiety, or even neurological issues, it can also just mean you are fidgety. Step 2. Consider that some level of fidgeting is normal, especially in According to studies, young children actually benefit from frequent movement. It helps them to increase focus, decreases anxiety, improves cognitive function, and may help reduce obesity. Everyone fidgets from time to time. Tapping a pencil, playing with a wedding ring, or tapping a foot are all examples of typical human behavior. Step 3. Consider the possibility of hyperactive type ADHD. Hyperactive type attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, involves impulsive and hyperactive behavior. Diagnostic criteria are very specific, so you should speak to a doctor. Fidgeting often helps people with ADHD focus better. Signs of hyperactivity impulsivity include fidgeting or tapping hands or feet, or squirming in seat. Leaving seat in situations where sitting is expected. Running about or climbing when it is inappropriate. Feelings of restlessness in adults. Being unable to play or take part in leisurely activities quietly. Being on the go, and acting as if driven by a motor. Talking excessively, blurting out an answer before a question has been completed. Having trouble waiting turn. Interrupting or intruding on others, during games or conversations. Step 4. Consider whether you could have an anxiety disorder, such as generalized anxiety, social anxiety, or PTSD. Extreme fidgeting can be a sign of an anxiety disorder. The fidgeting that is part of anxiety may be self-destructive, skin picking, nail biting, hair pulling, teeth grinding, or may just be regular tapping, swinging of feet, straightening out items in front of you, or fiddling with objects. If you suspect you have an anxiety disorder, make an appointment with a counselor, psychologist, or your physician. Other symptoms of anxiety are avoidant behavior, particularly in social anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive thoughts, particularly in obsessive-compulsive disorder, difficulty concentrating, self-medicating, with food, alcohol, or drugs, sense of dread, excessive worry, irritability, digestive issues, upset stomach, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, shyness, in social anxiety, perfectionistic tendencies. Difficulty trusting. Step 5. Check to see if you might be autistic. Autism is an inborn, lifelong developmental disability that can make people extra fidgety. Autistic people fidget for a number of reasons: coping with an overwhelming world, expressing emotions, calming down, distracting themselves when bored, etc. Autistic fidgeting is often very repetitive, like walking in circles or waving the hands up and down. Signs of autism include the following: developmental delays and quirks, over or under sensitive senses, social confusion, difficulty figuring out what others are thinking, need for routine, and dislike of surprises, meltdowns and shutdowns brought on by excessive stress, disorganization, intensely passionate interests. Step 6. Recognize other conditions that can cause unusual amounts of fidgeting. Here are some other potential causes of fidgeting: restless leg syndrome, hypothyroidism, Graves' disease, menopause. Step 7. Talk to a doctor if you believe you may have an undiagnosed condition. A doctor can make an accurate diagnosis and recommend any treatment or support you might need. They may also refer you to a specialist with expertise in the area. Speak up if you're concerned about misdiagnosis. Doctors are human, and they can only use the information that you give them. Be cautious about self-diagnosis. You don't want to jump to the wrong conclusion. For example, if you decide that you're autistic when you're actually a non-autistic person with ADHD, then you might miss out on the opportunity to try medication that could really help you. Finally, consider taking action if your amount of fidgeting is interfering with your life. Whether you're diagnosed with a condition or not, you may choose to take steps to reduce how much you fidget. A balanced lifestyle can help reduce your need to fidget. Method 2. Reducing your caffeine and sugar intake. First is consider how much caffeine you currently consume. For a week, keep a log of how much coffee, tea, soda, and chocolate you consume each day. This will give you an idea of if your caffeine intake is at an unhealthy level. 400 milligrams, the amount in 4 cups of coffee, of caffeine per day is usually considered safe for most adults. However, some people are more sensitive to it and should not even consume this much. If you consume caffeine and you have insomnia, restlessness, anxiety problems, fast heartbeat, headaches, muscle tremors, or extreme fidgeting, you may be extra sensitive to caffeine and should cut back to little or no caffeine at all. Step 2. Cut your cups of coffee in half, or cut 1 cup each week. This will allow you to avoid withdrawals or headaches. Caffeine is a drug that creates adrenaline surges, which your body gets used to. It could take a month to wean yourself from caffeine. If you are consuming a very high amount of caffeine, cut back slowly. Quitting quickly will cause withdrawal symptoms, like headaches. Step 3. Keep track of how much sugar you consume. Too much refined sugar and foods with added processed sugar, candies, pop, cakes and cookies, some cereals, creates energy bursts and troughs, leaving you craving more. During the brief energy bursts, you are likely to fidget. Keep a log in a notebook, similar to your caffeine recordings, of how much refined sugar, candy, pop, cookies, etc. you consume in a week. Step 4. Replace your sugary snacks with fruit. Fruit has some natural sugar, and this will help to slowly lower your intake of refined or artificial sugar, because if you eat plenty of fruit you will crave other sugars less. Fruit is part of a healthy diet, and you should try to consume 4 servings. A serving is 1 piece of raw fruit the size of a baseball, or 1 cup of smaller fruits or 100% fruit juice, of fruit per day. Finally, give yourself healthy diet choices. If you are lacking in energy and turning to caffeine or refined sugar snacks to give you a boost, it may be because your diet is generally unhealthy. Be sure that you are consuming the right amount of a variety of vegetables, fruits, grains, and lean proteins each day. You should try to eat 4 servings of vegetables, 1 cup of raw or cooked veggies or vegetable juice, or 2 cups of leafy greens is 1 serving, 4 servings of fruit, 6 to 8 servings of whole grains, depending on age, gender, and activity level, 2 to 6 servings of lean protein, depending on age, gender, and activity level, and 2 to 3 servings, 1 cup, of dairy or dairy equivalents daily. Method 3. Increasing your physical activity. First is engage in exercise 30 minutes per day. In general, modern American lifestyles are not as physically active as they should be. The lack of movement in a usual day for someone who has sit-down job may contribute to the tendency to fidget. To get more exercise, you can walk, jog, swim, bike, play sports, or do any other activity you enjoy that gets your heart rate up. If you find yourself limited on time for exercise, one of the easiest ways to get enough is to just walk. Walking can even be part of your chores. You can walk the dog, walk to the market or the post office, or walk around the office or around the block a couple of times during your lunch break. Any amount of walking is better than none, and making it a regular habit helps ensure you are getting enough exercise. Step 2. Convert your fidgeting hand and leg movements into isometric exercises while at work or school. These will curb fidgeting and strengthen muscles. Rest your hands in your lap. Put your palms together and gently push them together. Hold for 3 to 10 seconds and repeat 10 times. Place your feet flat on the floor. Push down into the floor for 3 to 10 seconds. Repeat until your muscles are tired. Your fidgeting will subside. Finally, give yourself breaks. Never sit in one place for over 30 minutes. As well as being good for your back, walking around and stretching during short breaks will reduce your need to fidget and help you to get the amount of exercise you need. Method 4. Practicing relaxation techniques. First is consider your reasons for feeling restless. Most often, unless it is due to a health problem such as ADHD, people fidget because they have restless energy and feel that they should be, or want to be, doing something else. Relaxing and calming your mind can help you cope with this restless energy. Step 2. Engage. Instead of worrying about what else you should be or could be doing, or worrying that you're not getting things done fast enough, remain focused on where you are and what you're doing at the moment. This takes practice. Regardless of what you're doing, tell yourself, This is what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to do my best at it and pay attention. Step 3. Take deep breaths. When you feel the need to fidget, take a couple of slow deep breaths instead. This will help your nervous, restless energy to slowly disappear. If you are feeling incredibly nervous and fidgety, stop what you're doing and count while you're breathing. Take a deep breath in while counting to 10. When you get to 10, start letting it out while counting to 10 again. Do this several times until you feel more relaxed. Step 4. Begin practicing yoga. Research and sign up for local yoga classes. If you already know yoga poses, practice them at home or during your breaks at work. The meditation, deep breathing, and stretching aspects of yoga help tremendously with restless energy and will help you to stay focused. Step 5. Get enough sleep. Getting enough sleep is so important for managing stress. It allows your brain to recharge and gives it the ability to stay focused and organized. Be sure that you allow yourself 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, and if you have trouble falling asleep, try the following. Avoid stimulation an hour before bed. This includes TV, exercise, and time on your phone. For an hour before bed, try enjoyable reading in dim lights, or take a warm bath. Don't do work in your bed during the day. Let your bed be the place where you are relaxed and ready for sleep, not thinking about responsibilities. Check on your diet and exercise. Lacking of certain nutrients, consuming caffeine, and not getting enough exercise can all contribute to insomnia. Finally, appreciate what you have. Keep a gratitude journal where you write down each day or a couple of times a week the things that you are thankful for. Remembering the things you are thankful for helps you maintain a positive mood and reduces stress and restless energy. Method 5. Handling times when you feel fidgety. First is use tools to provide an outlet for fidgeting. Try sitting on an exercise ball for a chair, and keeping a box of fidget toys for when you need to fiddle with something. As long as you're able to focus quietly without disrupting others, you can consider it a constructive way to channel your energy. You can buy or build your own fidget tools. Step 2. Engage in activities that stimulate the senses. Sometimes, being fidgety means that you're a little bored. Try chewing gum or listening to music. Step 3. Don't be afraid to tell people that you're just a little fidgety. Everyone is different, and people may accept it if you just politely let them know. If people seem confused by your behavior, give a quick explanation that works for you. I'm just kind of a fidgety person. Let me know if I'm being disruptive. I find that fidgeting helps me focus better. I'm a little wiggly, that's all. I have ADHD, and playing with a stress ball helps me focus. Finally, take a break. Sometimes, fidgeting is a sign that you need a change of pace. Try leaving the room, and maybe doing a quick task like refilling your water bottle or checking the mailbox. A short break may be just what you need. We hope it is useful to you. Please subscribe to our channel to upskill yourself.